Welcome back to another episode of OBS Studio Explained, a YouTube video series where I will try my best to explain OBS Studio to you. Today I will take a closer look at general settings. I'll spend the next few episodes in this settings window.
Yeah, it's gonna be really funny.
Because I think this window is quite important, and after finishing settings I will start designing overlay of the stream. And the reason why is because I think it's similar to playing a video game. Before you start playing, you are going to adjust settings to your preference and what your first lane PC can handle, like graphics quality, mouse sensitivity, volume, and it's similar here. And since attention span of mankind is shorter and shorter, I decided to break those settings to smaller categories, same as they are divided in OBS. So when you open your OBS, on top bar, select File, then Settings, and a smaller window will appear on your screen, already opened on General Settings on the left. On the right you have a lot of settings, and now I'll explain each one of those settings to you. But before we start, I would like to apologize for previous episode where I think I used quote. It's pretty much self-explanatory quite a lot. It was because that video was quick introduction. Now I'll try explain everything more precisely. So at the end you will understand every setting in OBS. And one more thing, if you are watching this video and some of the settings are not there or there is more of them, probably this is an older video, so maybe check my channel for some update. Ready? Let's go. So first setting is language. I guess that is pretty much so. I'm kidding. So language settings will allow you to choose from variety of languages for the system. Basically, which language you choose, the whole software will be in that language. Pretty easy, right? At the moment of recording, you have option to choose from more than 50 languages.
I counted them.
Which is really cool, and you can set it to your language if you don't understand English. But personally, even I'm not a native speaker as well, as you already know, but I do have my OBS in English because when I'm looking for help, it's easier to navigate according to other online tutorials. Second setting is checkbox, which says Open Stats dialog on startup. This option will open stats window, which is this one, every time you launch OBS. So what is this settings good for?
Nothing.
Now seriously, I guess if your OBS is packed with plugins and you don't have space for it, or you prefer to have this window somewhere separately, not in software. And even this window isn't between basic ones in my first video, you can open it from docs and have it docked. And I highly recommend to have stats window somewhere, either your streamer or video creator, since it will provide you with important information if everything is running smoothly. Next up is hide OBS window from screen capture. And I would say these settings might be the best choice for people with one screen who wants to level up their stream design and don't want to show their OBS every time they are switching scenes or something like that. These settings will hide OBS every time you put it on screen that is captured by OBS. The second group of settings is called updates, and you have two options here. First one is Updates channel, which let you choose from drop-down menu between latest stable release of software and betas, or release candidates, which might be but don't have to be released later. And second option is checkbox under to automatically check for updates on startup. This will check if there is any newer version of the software, and if it is, it will ask you if you want to update your OBS. In the next block of settings called output, you have three really helpful settings, especially when you are a person who usually forgets about things if they are on or off. But also the settings will prevent you from accidents by misclicking. Checking this box will ask you every time before going live if you are sure you want to go live, so no accidental streams because you misclicked. Same goes for second checkbox, but this one is for ending streams, so you won't end your stream accidentally. And the last confirmation dialog is for stopping recording, so once again you won't accidentally stop your video recording and then realize you didn't recorded your 360 no scope because you accidentally turned recording off. Next up is this really cool setting called automatically record while streaming, and for me this is one of the best things here, and I'm going to tell you why. So basically, whenever you are streaming and your plan is to use footage from stream to create a video or post for social media, this will record your whole stream and you can edit it later.
Yes, still, but I can also download my stream from YouTube or Twitch and edit that as well.
Yes, you're right, but this one is better, trust me. You will trade off slightly more CPU and GPU power for way much better record quality. In later lessons I will show you recording settings, and you can record it in higher bitrate and even higher quality, which gives you more options for edits. I will mention one I think most used, and that is zooming. Basically, recording in higher bitrate will allow you to zoom during edit and you will not get that blurry footage when zoomed. This checkbox will keep your recording on after you stop stream. Usually when you end your stream your recording will stop as well, but when you are used to record your intro and outro right after the stream and have it in one footage, maybe this setting is for you, but you just need to get used to separately stopping streams and recordings. With this automatically start replay buffer when streaming setting on, your OBS will be recording everything from beginning of the stream, and also it will let you save last few seconds just with a simple press of the button. But you have to set manually how many seconds back it should have record and bind your key for that action. Both of those settings will be explained in future videos. And now you probably have same question that I had. What is the difference between recording and replay buffer then? It seems it does the same thing. Well, yesn't. Recording will be saved after you stop streaming or recording directly to your disk. And also it will be saved as the full footage from starting recording, so it might be 2, 3, maybe even 8 hours long. And replay buffer is saving recording first into your RAM, and just after hitting the button to save it, it will save it to your disk and it will be the length that you set. So recording is better for full footage, but replay buffer might be useful for something like creating short clips for socials. But nowadays I think we already have better tools for that, such as Atom, which can be adjusted to vertical format and clips are done faster and you don't need to edit them later. And on the same note here with these settings, this setting will keep recording to your RAM even when you stop streaming. So those were general output settings, and let's move for something that will help your stream look more polished, and that is source alignment. By checking this checkbox, you enable your source alignment snapping. It will unlock other options in this chapter, and now every time you move your sources around, they will be dragged to edges of the screen or other sources according to your snap sensitivity.
So sensitive.
This sensitivity says how many pixels from the edge of the other source you have to be, so source number 1 will be snapped to source number 2. I guess this 9.5 is set there from install and I find it quite okay. I personally wouldn't go above 20, and already 20 was like meh. It was way much faster snapping, but when you need precision, just lower it to something like 2 or 3, and also when you need some fine-tuning, you can always use arrow keys to move source pixel by pixel. And now we have 3 options to which your sources will be snapped to. First one is to edge of screen. So when you get close to the amount of your snap sensitivity, it will snap your source to the one of the edges of the screen. Second option will snap your source to other sources. This is very helpful when creating overlays with a lot of sources and you need to align them. Also, this is one of the cases where I would lower the sensitivity of the snap. And last one will help you every time you want to center something either horizontally or vertically, and this will snap center of your source to the center of your preview. Next chapter is projectors, and honestly this is pretty new to me as well, but I tried my best to learn something about it, just enough to explain the settings. So projectors in OBS explain the most simple way possible. Projectors are projecting your scene from OBS to any of your screens, but honestly if you are running 2-screen setup you don't need this at all, because on one screen you will have OBS and on the second your game. I think the best use is when you have 3 or more screens. Like on one you will have your OBS, which you need to control your stream. On the second you will have, for example, your game. And on the third monitor you can use projector and put there source, for example, of tournament schedule or ranking of players. Basically another scene projected to one of the screens. So this was the most simple and hopefully right explanation of projectors. Let's take a look on settings what we have to control them. Hide cursor over projectors. So when you are projecting your source to any screen and you will move your cursor there, but you don't want it to be shown, you can check this checkbox and your cursor will be hidden when you place it over projector. Make projectors always on top. These settings will place your projector above all the other sources, so if you want to order other things, somehow be sure that you uncheck this checkbox, otherwise the projector will be on the top and you won't be able to change sources. Save projectors on exit. Checking this checkbox will save your projector settings when exiting the OBS Studio, and when you relaunch it, everything will be there as you left it. And the last one, if you want to have only one projector on one screen, check this setting, limit one full screen projector per screen. But in case you are making tournament and you don't have like 6 screens, keep it unchecked and just play with your other settings. You don't want to limit yourself in case you don't have to. Before we move to next chapter called System Tray, my question is, do you know what System Tray is? No? Well, I guess you're lucky I'm here. System tray is that small area on bottom right screen where is time, internet connection, volume and all those stuff. And you have there a small arrow pointing up, and when you click on it, it will show you what softwares are still running but are minimized there. So by checking enable, you will let OBS software to be shown down there in your system tray when it's launched. Also you have to check this checkbox to unlock other 2 settings which are minimized to system tray when started. Checking this checkbox, you will get result that every time you open your OBS Studio, it will not pop up on your screen, but instead it will launch and it will be running, just it will be hidden down in a system tray. So when you want to launch OBS but at the same time want to hide it so it won't take any space on your screen, this is a great setting. And the second setting is always minimize to system tray instead of taskbar. And this one is interesting as well. If you are already used to use system tray or you like your taskbar nice and clean without anything more than just your shortcuts, I definitely recommend these settings. By checking these settings, every time you minimize OBS, the icon will not stay on your taskbar, but everything will be hidden in your system tray. Next on the list are preview settings. And this might be very useful for all the streamers, not just those who want to have really nice stream design, but all of you. So don't even try to skip this part, because you really don't want to have messy scenes with missing parts of the screens, etc. This setting, I don't understand why would somebody check this. So by keeping this box unchecked, and I highly recommend doing so, every time your source is out of your screen, you will get this overflow area shown by diagonal stripes, and so at least you know that it will not be shown. I understand that some of your sources might be on purpose out of your screen, but in sources like game capture or screen capture, that might be problem because people will not see part of your game. So please keep this box unchecked just for your own safety. The second checkbox, overflow always visible, is connected to the first one. By keeping it unchecked, your overflow will be shown only when you select the source that is overflowing. And on the other side, by checking this setting, it will be shown always even when overflowing source is not selected. And we will continue with overflow with this third setting called show overflow even when source is invisible. So maybe you have some sources that you like to turn off sometimes, like webcam for example, and checking this checkbox will show you that your source is out of your screen even when invisible. So if you will turn off your webcam and then accidentally move it, it will show you with overflow that it is out of your screen. But before we move further, remember one thing, and every time we will be working with preview, I will try my best to say it again. Once you lock your source, OBS is expecting that the source is already on its place, so it will hide the overflow even when you will have all settings on, except for first one, hide overflow, which, like I said, don't check that one, it's working against you. With these settings, draw safe areas, we are starting to go really nerdy into preview settings. Checking this checkbox will draw 2 rectangles on your screen. Those are mostly used in TV production, so if you are from TV production or working on some cinematography skills, this might be helpful for you. Personally, I don't use them, but it seems kinda interesting and maybe I will learn something more about that. Anyway, back to the topic. First bigger rectangle is called action safe area, so I only guess, I haven't studied it, but I believe that all the action should be happening here. Second smaller rectangle is called title safe area or graphics safe area, and once again I'm guessing, but all the graphics and titles shall be inside of this rectangle. And the last checkbox is for all the pixel perfectionists, including me. Checking this box will show you guides with pixel distances from each side, so you can really pixel perfect your stream design. Next chapter is called Imposters, with only one checkbox which says search known location for scene collection when importing. And with this setting you will allow OBS to find importable scene collections from supported third-party programs. So after checking this checkbox, you can go to scene collections and import, and after that pop-up window will appear and you can simply select path to supported program and import scenes from there. The next chapter is studio mode, which will have definitely separate video, but for now let's check the settings. And the first is transition to scene when double clicked. Turning these settings on will let you quickly switch scenes by double clicking. And now the question is where I'm supposed to double click. No worries, I'll save you from awkward double clicking in the whole software because I did it for you.
Yeah, I've been clicking everywhere in OBS.
And you have to double click the scene if you want to switch scenes. Second checkbox, enable portrait or vertical layout, will simply switch your studio mode from side to side view of scenes to one above other. If you prefer that, go for it, or maybe there is some hidden life hack where it might be used, and I hope I will find that until the video about studio mode. And the last checkbox is show preview or program labels, and it will only show or hide label at the top of the studio mode saying preview or program. And if you are new to studio mode, I would recommend having this on, so you will know what is happening where and won't be accidentally switching between them. And the last chapter in general settings is multiview. So what is multiview? According to my experience with multiview for now, I would call multiview an on-screen stream deck scene switcher 1000. Let me explain. You can enable it by going to view and selecting either multiview full screen or windowed. I will select windowed, and once you select either one of them, window will pop up, and in that window you will have your scenes. At the top you will have preview and program window like in studio mode, and lower will be all your scenes. Now let's go back to settings to explain those basic settings in multiview. So first one, click to switch between scenes, will allow you to switch scenes by clicking on them in multiview. And that's why I name it on-screen stream deck scene switcher 1000, because that's what it will do. And by unchecking this window, I honestly haven't found use for multiview, but maybe I will find something in the future. By checking this checkbox, show scene names, you enable names of your scenes to be shown in your multiview. So if you have multiple similar scenes, it will help you to recognize them more easily. And draw safe areas is pretty much same as the same settings in preview, and it will draw those two safe areas on each screen on your multiview preview. And the last setting in general tab is drop down box, which lets you select from multiple multi-view layouts according to your preference. There is a multiple options to select, to either having those two windows same as in studio mode or without them, just scenes. Before I'll finish this video, let me just quickly squish an appearance tab at the end, because I'm not going to explain it in a separate video. It would be like 30 seconds long video. Anyway, appearance tab is allowing you to customize your OBS. You have two drop-down settings here, which are theme and style. First you select your preferred theme and then preferred style. There is nothing deeper in that settings. And if you don't like any of pre-installed themes and styles, you can always go download some from the internet. Just please be safe and don't download anything that seems cool from random sites. That's why I would recommend use only themes from OBS forum, and also first read something little bit about them when you will be on forum. Things like how to install them and comments if they are working fine. And with that, we are at the end of the video. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me here in the comments or on my Discord server. And since those videos are taking a lot of time to prepare, and also you're still watching until now, just click that subscribe button. It isn't that hard, I swear, I will appreciate it. And also like this video. And now I can tell you about topic of the next video, which will be